record. Sweet. Cool, and we are good to go. So who do we have? So we have Miss Deb Jensen, lovely mother of Kenzie Jensen, who was the #1 first year in the world of 2019, which is super cool.
Wow. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So what I wanted to ask you a little bit about today, Deb, is just let's first start tackling what were your reactions like when Kenzie first told you about the program?
Well, I remember specifically, she was on her way home. She was only left for spring break, going back to Lincoln. She was gone about 45 minutes. She calls and she's like, I keep getting this call from this Kearney phone number. And so I finally answered it, and she says, they want to offer me an internship. And I'm like, you're a freshman in college. You're going into dental hygiene. I've been in dental for 20 years. What kind of internship are you getting into? And so, she says, I don't know too much about it, but I'm going to be with Aisha during the week, and I'll let you know more about it. Well, she started telling me more about it, and I'll be honest, I'm thinking, what kind of cult are you getting into? And I was like, this is crazy. And, then I talked a few times with Aisha. Like, I still was not keen on the idea, but Mackenzie is one of those that when she sets her mind to something, she's going to do it regardless of what we think. And, so when she, said, oh, and by the way, we leave in 10 days, I was like, okay. So we're going to have this parent coffee. And that is when I find out that they have to drive their own vehicles. And now Mackenzie is one that we could not drive 30 miles. And she was already sleeping in the car. There is no way that she is going to drive across the country by herself. But, she got left, and I talked to her a couple times when she was in Tennessee. And she was telling me about, different things. We get up at the same time every day. We make our lunch every day. And we either run or we drive to where we're having our meetings. And I remember she was gone 2 days, and she was sunburned. And I said, where are these meetings being held? You're sunburned. And she's like in a parking lot. And I'm like, what? I was totally taken away. When you say you're going to sales school, I'm thinking, sales school. And so when she first told me about that she was doing this, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. And then she's gone. And pretty soon I start getting the pay setter and emails from Sarah, and she's #1 in the company. And I'm like, well, how long can that go on? And each week I could just see this growth, not only in her numbers, but the change in her. And this is where it becomes big, because Mackenzie has always been, like I said, when she decides to do something, she's going to do it. And kind of like I think all teenage mentality is, you owe me to do this. I need a car. I'm going to this game. I'm going to this game. I need money. It's your job to give me money. Well, slowly I start seeing this change in her of how appreciative she is. And that's where the biggest growth came from. I could hear it in her voice that she, besides saying it, I felt like she really appreciated it. And, then she started talking more about her faith and taking time for herself on Sundays and just talking with God, and all the really cool people that she was meeting through the summer and doing all this fun stuff at the same time. And this great group of people that she met from Lincoln. And, you know, and the more time I spent with like Seth and Elliot and Austin, I mean, they're just great to even hang out with. So just the close friendships that she has made, that's probably going to last her a lifetime. Sorry. You know, and then she comes, and so, you know, so when we talked at parent coffees about when your kids call home crying or that they want to come home, Mackenzie and I practiced this quite a while, because I could see that, okay, well, what if she does this? What am I going to tell her? And she did only call home crying one time. We talked a few minutes, and then she herself said, okay, what are you supposed to tell me? I said, get off the phone, get back in your car. I said, you know, you had your time to cry. I'm not telling you to come home. I'm going to tell you to get back in your car. You signed up to do this, and call me at the end of your day. And I was like, so I'm telling my husband about this, and I'm like, I don't know if I felt like I did the right thing or not. But the few times that she had to call me, and that, or if there was a house that she didn't want to knock on because she thought, oh, they're not, you know, they may not be interested. Those were some of the biggest, I'm not necessarily going to say it wouldn't have been a sale, but those are sometimes the people that she found that she sat and she talked with for an hour. And she said, Mom, I met this really cool lady. And she'd tell me, you know, just how she touched her, and how, you know, she just felt like this lady obviously just needed to talk. And, you know, just some of the close relationships that with people that she even found out in the book field. You know, and so when it was time to go out on her second summer, even with everything else going on in 2020, it wasn't even a hesitation. It wasn't like, okay, no, you're not going. Are you sure you need to go? It's like, okay. And away she went. And, you know, and I sent her care packages, I would send little cards, little motivational cards, Bible verses, little quotes, granola bars, just little pick-me-ups throughout the week. I sent them probably a couple times a week, just to know that I was always thinking of her. We probably didn't talk on the phone as much as we did during the school year, obviously. We usually tried to schedule like a talk on Wednesday and then on Sunday afternoons, just before she took her hour to herself to regroup. Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I was not on board with her doing this, but I see tremendous growth in her, personally, spiritually, and the lifelong friends that she's made.
No, that's awesome. I guess a few little points that I kind of want to go back to. Like, what was your reaction, especially like as a parent, like when you heard that, like she was gonna be, like Kenzie was gonna be working like 80 to like 90 hours a week? How'd you feel about that?
Well, my husband is self-employed, and he's getting to the point where he should be retiring, but there is no slowing down. So it's kind of in her blood that she has always known how to work. It doesn't surprise me that she'd get up extra early, or that she'd spend extra time out and about. But yeah, it's a lot of hours, and you know, if you're not, you know, sometimes I think honestly, everybody needs to do this at least once. You know, even um, you know, it's so easy to just go to a job and I'm getting a paycheck, and um, I'm going to get paid regardless. But this is based on the harder you work, the more potential you have to earn more. And I think you put in the time, you should reap the rewards.
For sure, for sure. Another question that I feel like parents are always asking is about like safety. Like, were you ever worried about Kenzie's safety and like how, like?
Oh yes. I won't go into some of the stories, but Mackenzie had some tire issues a lot of the first summer. This second summer she did not have near as much. I don't know if it was she was in New Hampshire the first year, so I don't know if it was necessarily the roads or that she just wasn't paying attention, but we had to buy a couple sets of tires. But as far as her safety, citizen-wise, and no, I really wasn't worried. I felt confident when I first heard that, you know, everybody looks into like the police station and they check out the town. That kind of actually set me more at ease than some of the other things. Getting over, like I said, the cult thing. But now I know it's not a cult, but it was just as my first reaction. Yeah, I don't know. I think, and I haven't heard from anybody else that they felt unsafe. And I just feel like, you know, that as many times as once they checked into the police station, Mackenzie always felt like they were kind of checking up on her themselves, you know, like she'd see the police every once in a while, and making sure that all her papers were in order. I think, you know, and that helped, you know, just watching out. And these small towns, they have Facebook pages, and a lot of times they'll say, hey, if you see a blonde girl driving a white car with Nebraska plates, that's Kenzie the book girl. You know, just give her a wave. You know, she's doing great things and she's fun to talk to. You know, so I think these smaller communities all watch out, you know, for each other in their community, and then the student working in their communities.
For sure, very cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And then I guess another, one last follow-up question is like, so for the parents who are like, kind of looking into the program for their own student for the first time, I guess like, what tips and tricks or just like words of wisdom do you have to share with the parents who are like looking into the program, and if their student decides to pursue this program, like what are some tips you have for them?
I would definitely encourage them to give this a try. You know, it's 3 months, you know, 3 or 4 months, and just the potential growth that they can see in themselves. I just think it makes them a stronger person, a stronger student, a stronger citizen, because just the, you know, working out in communities and helping these families, families that don't know that there's some of these things out there that can help them, and then they're helping students. You know, and Mackenzie both years was lucky and won the Sizzler trip, and she's excited to go help in Mexico. I think that's just an awesome thing that they do, that they go and do some charity work and help little kids. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Miss Deb.
you're so very welcome.
Sweet. Well, let's see. I will end this little recording what we got here.